Okay, so what we've got going on is I'm going to be putting a wood storage thing right up here up front because the front door is right here. The chimney and fireplace is right there in the living room. And so storing it right here makes sense because of walking where I need to store the wood and bring the wood inside, but also the fact of it's the morning, and you can tell that with it being morning, the sun comes right here, hits right here early morning, stays on that side of the house for a good while. So if the wood is to be or get wet, it helps to dry it quicker with the sun hitting it. Also allows it to dry out faster if I put like fresh wood there, like fresh cut wood. So we are going to start phase 1 of this build, and it's only going to be the spot for already like aged, dried, cut wood. Phase 1, let's get this going. So the first thing we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to move my hop plants. Luckily, since it just froze, it's not gonna be an issue. It's not dead, but honestly, these things are really resilient. So I have 2 of them. So I'll pull this post up. What's also cool about these hop plants is the fact that they're kind of like bulbing. They don't bulb, honestly, but you can split them. You can see they have all these different pieces, so you can actually split them. I could possibly get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more plants off of this. Started out as 2. There was only 2 in there that I got from my buddy who owns a brewery and grows his own hops, so he gave them to me. So I will split these up and I can have a whole bunch more hops. You know, each year they'll grow 30 foot in the air and just have a bunch of hops on them. It's really cool. I think I've shown it before when I first planted them, but definitely keep it because these are awesome. These are so cool to just see, and they're really pretty. The reason I'm using this cedar, if you don't know, cedar is a very hard wood. People back in the day used to use cedar post for fencing because it rots very, 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 very slow. So this will last a good while. There are still cedar posts throughout this property that are still there and are very, very sturdy, still holding fence from when my great family farmed out here and stuff like that. So that's why I'm using it. First, it was free. Also, it will last a good while. And sometimes it just looks pretty, right? I'm not gonna shave it. I kind of like the bark look, but like on the porch, I might replace those posts with some cedar posts, but actually have them milled down and squared and make them all like nice and pretty. But you never know. But I like cedar the way it looks. I don't like cedar trees because they're fragile for some reason, but because they're so hard. They don't, when the wind blows, they'll crack and break rather than bend with the wood. Bend with the wind, not the wood. So it doesn't need to be terribly long because, like I said, I'm using it to stack wood. like chopped wood. So I'm thinking probably 6 foot is a good spot. That way, when I do add to it, I kind of cover up the back a little bit when I add to it, but actually, we might just go to 4 foot because it's relatively tall. That's a good amount of wood to stack for a split. And then if I do, I can go longer for plain wood, unsplit wood while it's drying. That way it'll hold more as I split it. Be up here. Yeah. I think 4 foot, and then later on we can extend it out to maybe 8 foot. So the reason I'm using these cedar limbs is to keep any wood off the ground. That way, when it rains or if it does get wet, it won't be sitting on the ground. Ants won't be making nests in it and stuff. I mean, there's still a possibility of that happening, but more is like I don't want the wood on the ground to rot. So they are relatively close enough where the wood, this wood will be split big enough to sit on it. Now we can trim all this up. So I'm using 2x4s, which they're not actually 2x4s, they're 2x3s. I cut them. They were left over from when I built the chicken tractor. So I'm using straight wood on top because I will be putting tin up there, and it'll just make it easier to fasten the tin down to something flat, give me more surface area. So the reason I'm putting it on the outside of the post rather than on the inside like those is, again, more surface area for coverage because there will be an overhang as much as possible with whatever leftover tin I have. I shouldn't have to buy any. I think I have enough leftover scraps from different odd things that I have done that I could make it work. So, but that's what I'm doing right now is I'm putting those up, and then I should have some more scraps of 2x4 and things that I can cross brace it and make it a little bit more sturdy. Doesn't have to be that sturdy, but I definitely want it to hold up from wind and the pressure of the wood, being up against it. I'm sorry. I was working, I was drilling over my head, I didn't have my safety glasses on. Well, I'm gonna go get them. Tricked you, made you think I was gonna do a cool transition to it, but I didn't. These are so cool. So, yeah, got them off of Amazon. They're like anti-fog, Magid. Pretty sure, Magid, I don't know, safety at work. I'll put a link in the description, but I like the way they look. They kind of make it look like I'm sophisticated. I dig it. But I had to get the ladder too, so that's why yeah. And here we are. I am very pleased with it. I think it has a good aesthetic to it. Obviously, got all that junk here I gotta clean up, but on the front of the house, I mean, it doesn't look the worst. It looks good. I like it. Proud of myself. And then, like I said, I can add more onto it over here for wood that's not split yet, waiting to dry out in season. And then I have an area here if I need to, when I need to split wood. Yeah, and then I can get some more wood, fill this whole thing up. Beautiful.